Hello, it's Lone Wolf here, Wolf Territories Grid. Here I am at Luxor, one of our amazing regions that is with my lunar lunaria. I'm just running tests on it and hanging around here and making a nuisance of myself. I'm in the harbour. As you can see, it's quite a beautiful place. Anyway, that's not why I'm here. Been having weird issues with the grid recently, and it's just like everything's working, everything's doing what it should, all the servers are in the right place, da 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 da. But occasionally, it just wasn't really right. So I started looking into the system logs, and and this is what I found. So let's just get rid of this for a second. So we can see this fully. So I started seeing this over and over again. People trying to hack into the server. So and they're basically doing different things to try and get in with this failed password, failed password, failed password. So I tightened up everything and I installed some software that is called Fail to Ban on Linux. And basically, what it does is it basically, if someone tries to log into the server and fails their password, that's what these guys are trying to do. It basically will then block their IP address. And here's just a few. And as you can see, as it's gradually growing, this is on a server that was just set up 10 minutes ago, and you can see the amount of IP addresses. And that I think that it's happening more at night, UK time, which is makes a bit of sense, really, I suppose, because more of the world is awake. So my feelings are, and I noticed as well since I did it, on all the servers are now running this. So basically, if you try and hack any of my servers, you're just going to get blocked. Basically, your IP address will be blocked very quickly, and you're not going to get very far. Um, And of course, that has a bit of an overhead on the server, but I think it's much less than the overhead that's being created by all these people using our internet connection. Basically ramming my internet connection on these servers with IP requests. So, if you want details of how to set that up, just go to www.paulslinuxblog.com, and I've written an article on it there. That's actually my Linux blog, which I need to write some articles for. It's funny that I sometimes write articles and sometimes I don't. I sort of go through things, so there's a few IP addresses there that are a bit interesting, I suppose. Um, and you can log into that paulslinuxblog.com. So basically, we're going to run. I'm not going to do anything to the grid in the next 24 hours. Just going to run some tests on it, and I'm just going to get user experience. People who normally have a bit of difficulty sometimes. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. Sometimes it can be some people's viewers. It can be the network connection. So you've got a grid that's running really fine and stable, and then for some reason people struggle to move around or on their region, and it's not everybody. It's like people I know, you think you've got the only region on the grid. There are over 1,000 or 1,300 regions on this grid, and 99% of them, 90% of them never have an issue. But there is the odd thing where we do have an issue with a region. We have to spend some time with them just to give you some ideas of things that have really upset regions in the past. Let's flip back to Wolf. So things that have really upset regions in the past have included someone set a house of about 1,000 prims to be physical. So that's what you do when you set so if you were making a boat or a plane or something like that, you make them physical. So they set the house to be physical, and the whole region would just went into go slow. And I found the house bouncing up and down. It was literally bouncing up and down uh, on the land, boing, 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 boing. I don't know how they did it, but once we disabled that and made it back into a house rather than a house plane, it was all fine. We had one where this was just weird. So what had happened is, I think what had happened is the land had been deeded to the group on the region, and the group had been deleted, and a new group set up. But I think what happened was that this caused a kind of issue, and then so they would set it to the new group and deed it to that group, and then when they rebooted the region, it would come back as as an invalid group. So that was fixed just by going into the database and fixing it manually in there. Don't know why that happened. OpenSIM going to be a bit of a funny thing, so and sometimes stuff doesn't work right or doesn't happen and we don't know why. Teleport failures are my favorite thing. I literally spend hours and hours trying to diagnose teleport failures and why they're happening. And, there can be so many reasons. One of the main issues, I think, is because the way that OpenSim talks to the viewer, um, it kind of it seems to try and then give up and not try again. Whereas it would be much better if the viewer actually went, okay, we had a fail talking to that server. Let me just try again to talk to the server. But it doesn't seem to do that anyway. That's a little grippet. So, Wolf fans, if you want to join the grid, I want to say something about region prices. So, I want to introduce you to this thing. So this is a droplet running on what's it running on? DigitalOcean. Okay, so I've been looking at these. So I've got lots of hardware-based servers, as you can see, and they run pretty fine. And with all the databases and all the load balancing and everything like that, and we've also got DNS using Cloudflare, which has been very good. We've got our R2 object storage with where the assets are stored, which is pretty cool, sweet stuff. Sweet stuff. And since I rewrote the asset server software to be faster, people have been commenting that it is quicker because it's doing a lot less work. It used to do a lot of work. So if we just go and have a look at this is the bucket that stores all the assets in it. Just to give you an idea, we wrote in the last 24 hours, we've written 147,000 assets and we read 325,000. That's, to be fair, that might sound like a lot, and it is a lot. But if you imagine the size of this grid, it's about 22,000 regions in terms of like Second Life regions, if you like. So it is going to be reading and writing an awful lot of data backwards and forwards. And I think having load balanced into the R2 object storage, we've got 6 of my asset servers that I built. They're really tiny, really sweet little web servers that are basically load balanced by R2 Cloud. So they're pretty quick. And it means that, things do res pretty quickly now, and it's been a bit of a job. The big problem with OpenSim is that it's not really scalable. So the stuff I'm doing, somebody said to me yesterday, you know, um, it's not like other grids. And I went, no, this is the only one that does this. As far as I know, I'm the only one that's load balancing into a cloud object storage at this scale. I'm the only one that's doing load balanced asset servers that I've done myself. I'm the only one that's doing, there's a lot of things on this grid that are specific to the way this grid works. And I know that frustrates people when things don't work quite right. But you've got to imagine I've got no one to go to for support for this, unless it's tiny little individual issues, because no one's doing it. So, it's quite painful, some of this. It's quite a lot of sleepless nights. It's quite a lot of, it's like sometimes, like last night, or for instance, sometimes you get people think that sometimes on Discord, on our Discord support chat, you get things and you think, oh, really? So, um, and it does look like the whole grid's fallen over, and it's actually just an issue with one region that's not playing right. And that can be caused by objects on the region. It can be caused by the server it's on. And so one of the things I've been testing is these new. This is actually in Frankfurt. This is a this is a droplet on Cloudflare on DigitalOcean, as opposed to this kind of server idea where we have hardware-based servers. This works pretty brilliantly, but it is way more expensive by a million trillion pounds. It's much more expensive to run. I know it says only $1.11, but this server hasn't been up long. So in order to be able to start using more expensive servers, I've increased the land prices. If you're on an existing bit of land, don't worry, your land price stays the same. Okay, so the increases are as follows. So, and it sounds like a lot, but we're still comparable with other regions. It's about $45 for a 102 4x4. two 4x4s. There's a discount rate of 70 sterling. This is pound sterling, so that's now gone up to sort of that's about $80 or 80 whatever it is, and 100 region packs 150. That's just to cover the cost of implementing these new servers. It doesn't make a lot of difference if you're on the server you're on now and you're happy with it. That's cool. If not, please chat to me. But there may be an increased cost to you to moving to this new type server. Now, one of the advantages of this server is if I need a new region server, I can just go create droplet, and I've already got Frankfurt. I've not tried creating one in. I'm going to probably try do some tests on having another one in the US. We did try that, but that didn't really work. So I just go like that. I select the options or whatever, and then I do it. But one of these droplets only runs 4 regions, and they're expensive. So that's had to be reflected in this lands thing. So that's what's going on here. It's just to try and make things faster and more effective. So this region's, let me just go to here. Whoosh. Now I have just cleared my cache, and I am recording, which means that this probably isn't going to. Oh no, there it goes. Right, so I've just cleared my cache. I've not been to this region. You can see how fast it's loaded. So this is with an empty cache, and this region is running on one of those droplets, which is kind of cool. And you can see how quickly it does load up, but they are very expensive, and it's even more expensive if you want a 100 region pack droplet running your regions. They are very, very expensive. It's much buying hardware servers is much cheaper. So again, it's all just to make things better, just to make things more efficient and make things faster, so that this grid is the fastest grid on the hypergrid. Teleporting to or from different grids is never easy, and some places we go to work absolutely fine. Other places we go to, for some reason, don't ask me, you try and get back and you just can't, or it doesn't work and it comes back and it looks all weird. I don't know why that is, and it's very difficult because I only have one end of the story. I don't have the other end of the story, so I go on one of Jimmy's flora. I'm going to have a look and see if it's online. I'm just going to have a look at Jimmy Olsen's region. So this is flora, for instance. This is one of my mate Jimmy's regions. My mate Jimmy, where you can get lots of plants. Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty cool. This is running on. I don't know where this is running. Can't remember. But this is running 9.2.1, and if I hit go home, I'll show you. Here you go. Can't find the presents. Try again, and I'm back. I'm fine, but it's crazy. I don't know why that is, because it makes no sense. All right, so all you have to do is just relog. I don't know why it is, and then sometimes you go to grids and it's absolutely fine. All right, and I can't. I am working on it, but it's really difficult with only one end of the story to why it does that. I think partly it might be because of the different versions of OpenSim. It might be because of the way that the grids talk to each other, but it's really frustrating. I know it's really frustrating. However, we do find that people can get to us from other grids without a problem. Although there have been issues in the past, it's now a lot better. I'm actually wondering whether or not it may be that our grid is just too fast, and the other grids are not able to keep up with the protocol and the speed of Wolf Territory's grid. I'm wondering if it's that when they talk to each other, there's some kind of issue. So the honest answer is I don't know at this point, but I'm working with looking at different avatars. I'm working with some people in the who are on the grid to try and make it better. So really people can access other grids without a problem, and people can access other grids without a problem. People can access and get to this grid without a problem. I know some grids block things. It's so frustrating. You won't know how frustrating it is and how many hours I've spent trying to work out what's going on. Anyway, that's it. So if you'd like to join this grid, the website is www.wolf-grid.com, and we've got our region control panel. Log in, go to your regions, just find one, I suppose. Yeah, I do have a lot of access to all the regions because obviously I'm running the thing, just so that I can help people if they need help. Bring up one of my regions. You've got lots of features. You can create a new terrain for the region. You can just regenerate, and then you can replace the terrain on the region. I won't do it on this one because it's huge. You've got monitoring. You've got so many different tools. This one is actually running on the new one of the new droplets. Consoles, restart, update map, download ores, backups, clearing cache, API keys. That's something. There's another video about that. Clear the parcels on the region, send a message to the region. There's loads of things you can do, and that's all in there. We've got loads of other things on the control panel that give you access to it. So to sign up, it's free. Wolf-grid.com. Come and have a visit, and thanks very much for watching. I hope this is not too boring. That's my technical videos sometimes are. Would you look at the screen when you're talking, Lone? Thank you. Don't be rude. Right. Okay. Thanks very much. Have a lovely day. Cheers. Bye.